dangerous drinking game, take a shot every time I say the word value in this video. Probably better if you didn't. Welcome to the table. My name is Max, and this is Tablenauts. Thank you for being here today. I really appreciate that. Today I want to talk to you about something, and really, I want to ask you about something. I'm not going to give you answers today. I'm not going to tell you this is the way to go or this is how you should do it, because I don't know myself. I'm looking for opinions, and I don't think that there's any wrong answer here. I don't think that if I think X, you think Y, and this person thinks Z, that one of us is right and the other two are wrong. No, not at all. I think it's going to be different for everyone. But I'm going to expand on my thoughts, and I want to hear your thoughts, right? I've got 5 games in front of me right now. These 5 are honestly, I didn't really mean to do this when I put them on the table, but spoiler alert, these 5 are all in my top 10 games. Spoilers. But that's not what today's about. I want to talk to you about value. Value in games. Dollars spent, happiness achieved, pretty art, whatever it may be. Value in board games, because I don't know the answer. And I don't think you have to. I'm just curious what you think about it, how you analyze and think to yourselves of whether something is worth it or not. I'm just curious. I'm not a wealthy person. I spend a fair chunk of my money on board games. Sorry, Danielle. But this game, Twilight Imperium, I paid $110 for. I then bought fleet stands for about $45. I then bought the playmat for another $30 or $40. I have played Twilight Imperium 4th edition a grand total of 0 times. None. Not once. I played a friend's copy one time and decided, look, I have to own this game. It was an epic experience. I loved it so much. I had a win literally stolen and pulled away. The rug was pulled out from under me. It was heartbreaking, and I loved every moment of this game. I will say, for you Twilight Imperium lovers or haters, my first experience was with 5 people and only lasted 6 hours. I don't know how much more I'd like this game if I had those 12, 13, 14-hour experiences that a lot of people report on. So I need to experience a couple of those and decide if I still love it. But my 6-hour playthrough was incredible. I loved it. Yet I've never played it since. Now, of course, it's 2020. Well, it was 2020, but it feels like it's still 2020. We all understand that these games are not ones that are going to be regularly played these days. So I'm not going to put too much stock in that. However, this is certainly not a value for dollar game. However, I'm still pleased to own it. Just the thought of playing it and the knowing that I own it and can play it if the opportunity arises means a lot to me. Looking at the art and imagining, which I cannot do, playing Twilight Imperium 4th edition brings me a lot of joy. It's kind of like the Marie Kondo thing, like, right? Does it bring me joy? Truthfully, yes, it does. I've not played it, but it does. It does bring me joy. So although this is certainly not a value board game, I did not get a lot of plays, considering I have 0, out of this for the money. Maybe eventually I will. But even if I play it once a year, which would be lucky for me, I think, in 4 years, I'll still have paid over $30 a play when you account for the fleet stands and the playmat. And maybe then TI 5th edition will be out. Who knows? The good thing about these are they retain their value quite nicely. They retain their value quite well. But moving on, we've got Cartographers. I think I paid $18 for that game. Boy, has this game been played a lot. A lot of these sheets in here are my brother and his partners. They have tried many different cool things with the art that they put on here. This is actually incredibly cool. They just wrote words like treetop, fishing village, kobold, bugbear, assault. I mean, they went all out doing a ton of different things. My brother always tries a lot of awesome different art on these. It's one of his favorite games because he can be artistic with it. So you look through here, there's a lot of sheets that have been played, and not all have even been saved. I can tell you that for certain. This game, let me pack it up before I ruin the mic audio with a bunch of random noises, is certainly a value game. I did not pay a lot for this game. I have paid easily less than $1 per play for this game. Easily. Probably less than 50 cents. That's what I was looking for. Easily. Maybe even a quarter. This game is an extremely high value per game. And I'm happy to own it. But does that make it any better than Twilight Imperium? On a cost per play basis, yes, but is that how I equate value? And I don't know, right? Because, like, Cartographers is always readily available and it's cheap. This is not always readily available and it's expensive, so it, like, holds more weight to my collection. Yet I know I've never played it, and I know it's not value gaming. Is it silly of me to own this game? Maybe it is. Tell me. I mean, whatever you think is fine. Like I said, there are no wrong answers here. Then you've got Gloomhaven, which I paid more for than Twilight Imperium. Not total, I guess, because like I said, you got the fleet stands, the playmat. But Gloomhaven has been an extremely high value game for me. I don't know the number of times I've played it or the number of hours that I've put into it, but we are probably quite close, 70 or 80% through the campaign. It has been a long time since we've gone back to it. We hope to eventually beat it and actually complete it in its entirety, but hour per play or hour per dollar on this has got to be quite low. I put in so much time on Gloomhaven. Just because it's a big box game like Twilight Imperium doesn't mean it's low value, right? It's certainly a value game for me. It's expensive, but I still got a lot of plays out of it. And it still makes me happy, right? I guess that's what as I'm talking, I'm figuring it out for myself a little bit. That it's less about X amount of dollars per play to me, but just about how happy does that board game make me. And for better or worse, owning a game makes me happy. I'm a board gamer, but I will not discount the fact and discredit the fact that I am also a collector. Not everyone is. There's nothing wrong with it, but I don't want to have a whole room full of board games because I just can't afford it. If I could, then yes, I would want that. And even if you do have that, it's not a problem at all. It's not a problem at all. That's a dream. It's just not a realistic dream for me right now. But I am a collector. I like to have these games. They're games that I haven't played, as from yesterday's video and the weeks before. I'm trying to run through my shelf of shame games that I still enjoy owning just because I know that I can play it. Right? It's like an opportunity cost type thing. I don't know. Again, this is not the video for answers. This is the video for questions. How do you value your games? How do you see if a game is worth it to you and worth it to own? Obviously, the smart answer is no. Twilight Imperium is not worth it to own. I know someone with it. I know that I can play it eventually because I know these people that own this game and that know it better than me and can teach it better than me. It doesn't have to take up shelf space for me. I can sell it and get money back, and maybe that's something I'll do. I also have Kingdom Death Monster right behind me and other games that take up room and that don't get played very regularly. And I agree that on paper that means that they are not good value. But as far as the joy they bring me, I can't quantify that, really. Cosmic Frog is a $75 game by Devious Weasel Games that's worth every penny, in my opinion. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It's premium. You've got a neoprene mat. You've got frog miniatures. You've got nice little crystals. You've got dice. You've got beautiful, gorgeous card art, if you can't tell from the cover of this game. I love Cosmic Frog. On a dollar per play basis, I've only played it twice in physical form and once on Tabletop Simulator. You know, that's $35 a play. Well, a little more. $37.50 a play, plus shipping. Obviously not good value, but if I had to, like, if someone asked me to narrow my games down to like 5 to keep, Cosmic Frog would probably make the cut. It's a difficult thing to even think of, but this is not a dollar per play value game, but what you get and how it plays and the joy of owning it is valuable to me. I really don't know if I'm making any sense here. I'm just kind of rambling at this point because, like I said, I'm asking questions from you. I want to know, how do you quantify this? Azul is a $30 game or $40 game that's sat on my shelf for months. And ever since playing it one time, it's been my most played game ever since. The family just absolutely adores Azul, and it gets played all the time. It is absolutely a value game. It's absolutely a low dollars per play game for me. These are all very different experiences that I would consider almost, not entirely, but almost essential to my game shelf, that I don't want to leave at all. Yet, they have very different value per plays, very different value on my game shelf. Some I've never played, some I've played 40 times, and some I've played 20 times, and this I've only played, 30 times, but the hours I've sunk into this one, it all adds up to different things. And there's no right or wrong answer here. I just want to know, what do you think, what do you put on your value for your games? Do you feel like before you buy a game, you know that you have to get X amount of plays for it to be worth it? Or are you someone that just kind of jumps in like me, for better or for worse, and then figures it out afterwards? And if something's not adding up, and if something doesn't bring you joy, just get rid of it. That's kind of where I'm at. I've got a full sell list right now that I'm trying to sell. With that, I also have a buy list that equals or is greater to monetary value wise than my sell list. But I'm trying to work through games and figure out what games mean much to me and what games hold value in my life and on my collection. And I'm finding that that's not really solvable by a dollar per play basis. I guess that's the main point I'm trying to make. I just wanted to talk to you about these games and the games on my shelf and the value that they represent. Dangerous drinking game, take a shot every time I say the word value in this video. Probably better if you didn't. Anyways, what do you think about value in board games, and how do you quantify that for your collection? Let me know down in the comments what you think the most valuable game is and the least valuable. I'm just curious. I don't even know how you quantify it, so I don't even know how you're going to answer that, and I'm excited to see all the different responses. As always, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and we will see you next time.